Okay, the interview's over. The hard work is all done. But you still have to follow up on the interview later, right? Sending a thank you note is the best way to start. The thank you letter should be written with your thanks for their time and consideration in seeing you. Now, if you haven't heard from the employer within a week, you should call the office to ask if they have reached a decision yet. Now, this is not being pushy. It just shows your enthusiasm and persistence. If they haven't reached a decision, ask when you might expect to hear from them. If they don't give an answer, try again in another week or so. Let's talk a little bit about what employers are looking for when they interview you. See, when an employer decides to conduct an interview with you, there are certain things that they are looking for from you. Naturally, you are likely to focus on these things during an interview if you know what they are. But you should remember all of the tips in this course, because following those tips is what is going to make the employer see all of those things in you. Now, since everybody wants to have a leg up when it comes to an interview, well, it just seems appropriate to let you in on what the employers are evaluating you on during an interview. Make sense? So here's the list that I've compiled. Your enthusiasm. Employers want to know that you are willing and eager to be part of their company. Being fully stocked with knowledge about the company is a surefire way to show your enthusiasm. Now, your ability to speak clearly is important. If you approach an interview mumbling and speaking slang, a prospective employer will not see you as a professional. I don't care if they're speaking slang, don't you? Showing your teamwork skills. You should show an example of your ability to work as a team during your interview, even if you would rather work alone. Now, what about leadership skills? You should show your leadership abilities by approaching your interview with an offensive train of thought. How about problem-solving ability? See, employers want to know that you can handle yourself when a problem arises. You might talk to them about other times you've experienced that. Now, you want to talk about your work-related experiences, especially if it has to do with the field you're applying for. I tell you that so you can be prepared, so you won't feel overwhelmed. Talk about community involvement. Employers love to see that you have done volunteer work. It shows that you take pride in your community and a willingness to be a team player and just do what it takes to get the job done. Company knowledge. Again, this stipulates that employers like to see that you have done your research about their company. It shows that your interest in working for them is very sincere. Now, they also want to see how flexible you are. They want to know that you are able to go with the flow. It proves that you can be depended on later. They want to see your ambition and your motivation. You see, ambitious people are generally motivated enough to make great improvements in the company as they are working their way up the ladder. Ambition usually means more money for the company, which might mean more money for you. Show your people skills. Your ability to get along with others is very important to an employer. They need to know that you won't ruffle any feathers when you are hired. And for heaven's sakes, have a professional appearance. Nobody wants a slob working in their office. Be certain to dress appropriately for the job that you are applying for. This is a difficult one, but you want to be able to show that you can multitask. See, this is getting to be a very necessary skill in the workplace. I disagree with it, but it's necessary. Most days, you will be required to multitask. Even if you are not, employers need to know that you can do it without freaking out on them. Computer ease. Now, these days, just about every company in the world is running on computers. The ability to work a computer with at least minimal amount of ease is important. It is best to keep a leg up on most common software like MS Office, Quark Express, and Linux. You want to be reliable. Employers want dependable and reliable people to work for them. Your ability to arrive on time is a good place to start when trying to prove that you possess this quality. You know, and that comes down sometimes to the car you drive, for heaven's sakes. If you drive in an old Jeep, Can they rely on you to get there on time? I don't know. Just something to think about.